Ever wondered why people lie? It's a question as old as human interaction itself. The intrigue of deception weaves its way through the fabric of our daily lives, as common as the air we breathe. We've all experienced it. That little white lie, or perhaps something more significant, a grand falsehood that shakes us to our core. Lying, in essence, is a survival mechanism, a tool for navigating the complexities of social interactions and preserving self-image. It's a game of poker, a dance of words and expressions, a chess match of truth and falsehood. This video will take you on a journey into the heart of deception, exploring why humans resort to lying and how we can better detect these falsehoods. We'll delve into the psychology, the evolution, and the impact of lies. So let's delve into the psychology behind why people lie. From little white lies to grand deceptions, the reasons can be complex and deeply rooted in our psychology. We're all guilty of telling a fib now and then, but have you ever stopped to ponder why we do it? Well, let's dive into the human mind to find out. One of the primary psychological reasons for lying is self-protection. Who hasn't at some point exaggerated the truth or outright lied to avoid getting into trouble? It's a defense mechanism, a survival instinct that kicks in when we're cornered. It stems from fear of repercussions, judgment, or simply the discomfort of facing reality. Then there's manipulation, a darker reason for lying. Some individuals lie to control situations or people, to gain power, or to get what they want. This kind of deception is often calculated and intentional. It's driven by desire for control, desire for gain, or sometimes just the desire to cause chaos. Lastly, let's talk about the need for approval. We all crave acceptance and validation from our peers. So sometimes we tell lies to paint ourselves in a better light, to fit in, or to impress others. These lies, often harmless, are nonetheless a reflection of our deep-seated insecurities and our yearning to belong. Moreover, our minds have a peculiar knack for self-deception. We often convince ourselves that our lies are harmless, necessary even. This self-justification helps us maintain a positive self-image, even when our actions contradict our values. It's a psychological paradox, a testament to the complexity of the human mind. It's important to note that while these are some of the common reasons for lying, they aren't exhaustive. Every individual is unique, and so are their motivations. Some lies are born out of kindness to protect others from harsh truths. Others might be a result of pathological conditions. As we can see, our minds have a fascinating way of justifying the untruths we tell. So, the next time you catch yourself or someone else in a lie, remember, it's not just about dishonesty. It's an intriguing glimpse into the labyrinth that is the human psyche. Lying isn't a modern phenomenon. It's been with us since the dawn of time. Yes, you heard it right. Deception is not an invention of the 21st century or even the last millennium. It's an ancient strategy, one that has roots deep in our evolutionary past. Imagine our ancestors on the plains of Africa. They lived in a world where survival was the only game in town. In such a world, being able to deceive, even just a little, could mean the difference between life and death. It might have allowed a weaker individual to bluff a stronger one, or a clever hunter to trick his prey. In essence, lying was a tool, a strategy for staying alive. But as societies evolved, so did the art of lying. In early human communities, lies could help maintain social harmony or avoid conflict. If you had a disagreement with a fellow tribesman, it might be better to tell a small lie than to risk a fight. Deception became a social lubricant, a way of smoothing over the rough edges of communal living. Fast forward to the modern era. Today, the world is much more complex, and so are the lies we tell. We lie for all sorts of reasons, from getting out of an awkward social situation to concealing a criminal act. We lie to protect ourselves, to gain an advantage, or sometimes just because we can. The evolution of lying, then, is a reflection of the evolution of our societies. As we have become more complex, so too have our lies. They have become more sophisticated, more nuanced, and often more difficult to detect. But here's the catch. While lying has played a role in our survival and social development, its necessity in today's world is less clear. We live in a society where truth and honesty are valued, where lies can come with heavy consequences. So while lying may have been a survival tool in the past, its place in the modern world is a topic of much debate. So, lying in a way has been a survival tool, though its necessity in modern times is questionable. While lying can sometimes seem harmless, it can have significant impacts on relationships and society. Let's start with the individual level. When we lie, we create a chasm between our authentic selves and the persona we present to the world. This divergence can eat away at our self-esteem over time. The more we lie, the more we feel the need to maintain the facade, leading to a vicious cycle of deception. This cycle can be emotionally draining, leading to stress, anxiety, and even depression. Now let's consider the impact on our relationships. Trust is the bedrock of any meaningful relationship, be it familial, platonic, or romantic. When we lie, we erode that trust. Once trust is broken, it can be incredibly difficult to rebuild. The person who was lied to may start to question everything else the liar has said or done, leading to suspicion and doubt. This can result in a strained relationship, or worse, a broken one. The effects of lying don't just stop at the individual or relationship level. They permeate through society. If lying becomes normalized, it can create a culture of dishonesty. In such a society, people may feel the need to lie to fit in or get ahead, promoting further deception. This can lead to a lack of social cohesion and even societal breakdown in extreme cases. Moreover, the impact of lies can extend beyond the immediate context. For instance, in the realm of politics or business, lies can mislead masses, manipulate public opinion, or even lead to financial losses. In these cases, the repercussions of a single lie can be monumental, affecting thousands, if not millions, of people. In essence, while a lie might begin as a seemingly innocuous act, it has the potential to snowball into something much larger, affecting the liar, their relationships, and the wider society. It's a stark reminder of the importance of honesty and integrity in our interactions. The ripple effects of a lie can be far-reaching, even if the initial intent was to harmlessly bend the truth. So, how can we tell when someone is lying to us? The art of detecting deceit is as old as the act of lying itself. However, it's important to remember that it's not an exact science. There is no foolproof method or a one-size-fits-all approach to catch a liar in the act. But by paying close attention to certain signs and cues, we can increase our chances of discerning truth from falsehood. Let's start with inconsistencies in stories. When a person is fabricating a tale, it can be difficult for them to keep track of all the details. They might mix up timelines, forget key elements, or add new information that wasn't there before. So if you notice that someone's story is changing or evolving each time they tell it, it might be a sign of deceit. Now, let's move on to body language. This non-verbal form of communication can often reveal more than words ever could. When someone is lying, they may display signs of discomfort or nervousness, like fidgeting, touching their face, or shifting their stance. They might also avoid direct eye contact, or conversely, hold eye contact for too long, as if trying to convince you of their honesty. Speaking of eyes, unusual eye movements can also be an indication of lying. Some studies suggest that when people look up and to their right, they might be creating images or events in their mind, which could indicate a lie. But again, this isn't a hard and fast rule, as eye movements can vary greatly from person to person. In the end, it's important to remember that these signs are not definitive proof of deception. People can display these behaviors for a multitude of reasons that have nothing to do with lying. But by understanding these signs and combining them with our intuition and knowledge of the person, we can improve our ability to detect deceit. Detecting a lie isn't an exact science, but understanding these signs can give us a better chance of spotting deceit. In a world where lying is so prevalent, it's crucial to understand why it happens and how to detect it. We've journeyed through the intriguing realm of deception, exploring the psychological motivations that drive individuals to lie. From self-preservation to manipulation, the reasons are as varied as they are complex. We trace the evolutionary roots of lying, understanding its survival value in the animal kingdom and its role in our social fabric. The impacts of lies, both big and small, were also examined. From eroding trust to creating false realities, the ripple effects of deceit can be far-reaching. But there's hope. We've also uncovered tools for detecting deception, from non-verbal cues to inconsistencies in stories. These techniques, while not foolproof, provide a framework to help navigate through the fog of falsehoods. So, next time you're faced with a potential fib, remember the psychology behind it and use your newfound knowledge to discern the truth.